Sears Auto Centers, 800 locations at peak, every single one of them dark by January 2022. The Jiffy Lube on the corner of a dying town. The independent garage where the one mechanic retired and the building has been on the market for 2 years. The country has more closed auto shops in 2026 than it has had since the 80s. And inside every one of those buildings, there are 11 things that will outlive the panic looters who already cleared every Walmart in your county. The looters take food. The looters take batteries. The looters take ammunition. The looters do not take what is sitting in plain sight inside every auto shop in America. And that is the trick. The looter who broke into Walmart is operating on a 1-week brain. We are about to look inside the building where the 1-year brain goes. I am Max. This is Outfox Apocalypse. And in the same way I gave you the 9 things from abandoned grocery stores back in February, the video where the pack came back with Vaseline, baling wire, dental kits, the books worth burning before the tax codes, the Walmart shelves you can break down into a stretcher. Today I am giving you the 11 things from every abandoned auto repair shop. Same logic, different building, and for anyone who knows what they are looking at, this building is the better target. Number 1. Toe straps, recovery chains, and ratchet straps. The pile of nylon webbing and steel hooks that hangs on the wall by the back door sits in a bin labeled shop recovery and falls out from under every workbench when you nudge it. Every shop has between 5 and 15 pieces of this. A heavy-duty ratchet strap retails for $30 to $100. A 4-ton recovery chain with grab hooks runs $200. A chain hoist, the block and tackle mechanics use to lift engines out, $500. Add it up and the average closed shop has $1,500 to $3,000 in straps and chains sitting in plain sight. None of it scraps for cash. None of it goes to the metal recycler. Looters walk right past it because it does not look like money. But for a survivor, it does everything. Let me give you a real scenario. Hurricane crosses your county Thursday night. Friday morning, your neighbor's truck is on its side in a ditch, wheel deep in mud. He does not have a winch. You do not have a winch on yours either. You do have a 4-ton recovery chain and a heavy-duty ratchet strap from a Pep Boys you mapped 6 months ago. You loop the chain around a sturdy yoke, hook the ratchet strap to the bumper, anchor your truck, and in 8 minutes, the neighbor's truck is upright. Without those 2 items, that truck stays in the ditch for a week, waiting for a tow company that is not coming. You lift an engine out of a donor vehicle without a hoist, chained through a roof beam. You secure 2 months of food and water in the bed of a pickup, so nothing flies out on a back road. You rig a hammock between 2 trees. In a real emergency, the nylon webbing of a ratchet strap is the fastest tourniquet you will ever cut. Toe straps and chains are the most overlooked workshop material in a closed auto shop, and the most universally useful for the months when nothing on the road wants to start. Number 2. Brake fluid, and I am going to talk about this one carefully. DOT3 and DOT4 brake fluid is a glycol ether compound. When it makes contact with calcium hypochlorite, pool shock, the chlorinator from the swimming pool aisle, the reaction is exothermic and violent. Peer-reviewed forensic literature in the Journal of Forensic Sciences documents the exact chemistry. After a 5 to 30 second induction period, the fluid is fragmented into ethylene, acetaldehyde, formaldehyde, and ignites in a fireball. This is not a fire starter. Forensic chemists classify it as an improvised incendiary. People have been burned, blinded, and arrested over it. I am telling you, it exists in the shop. I am not telling you to make it. The physics is real. The application requires training I will not give you on YouTube. If you ever need fire and you have nothing, use a ferro rod and tinder like a normal person. Number 3. Used motor oil. The drained oil from 100 oil changes sits in a 55-gallon drum at the back of every shop. filthy, black, useless for an engine. But it has 2 real survival uses, and 1 fake one I am going to warn you about. The real ones first. Used motor oil preserves metal. Coat your tools. Coat the inside of your spare barrel. Coat the chassis of the truck you are not running this winter. It also burns in a purpose-built waste oil heater vented outside, the kind real shops have on the wall. The fake one, the YouTube version that gets people hospitalized, is using it as an indoor lamp fuel. Old motor oil is too viscous to wick cleanly, so it burns smoky and incomplete. And the carbon monoxide it puts out, plus the heavy metals the engine left in it, lead, zinc, combustion byproducts, will poison you in a closed tent overnight. Outdoor only. Heater vented outside, or as a metal preservative. Anyone telling you to light a wick in a tin can of used oil inside your bug-out shelter is going to kill someone. Number 4. The cordless angle grinder, and every lithium battery in the shop that powers it. Every serious garage has at least one professional cordless grinder. Milwaukee M18 fuel, DeWalt FlexVolt 60 volt, Makita XGT, plus a charger and 3 to 8 extra batteries on the wall rack. The grinder by itself retails for $200 to $400. The batteries are the gold layer underneath that. 18-volt Pro batteries run $100 to $300 each. A shop with 8 batteries on the wall is sitting on $1,200 to $2,400 in lithium-ion storage that holds charge for a year without a maintenance trickle. Why this matters more than any other power tool you will find in there. The angle grinder cuts through rebar, steel padlocks, chains, rusted bolts, bicycle frames, and the deadbolt on any door you have lost the key to. Pair the grinder with a stack of batteries and you have a portable steel cutting tool that runs anywhere. No extension cord, no generator, no engine starting. But the batteries are the bigger prize. Pop them off the grinder and onto any compatible tool in the same brand family. The cordless drill, the impact driver, the recipe saw, the work light, the radio, the chainsaw in some lines. One brand ecosystem turns 6 tools into a portable workshop powered by a stack of cells that hold their charge for a full year between uses. The looter scrambles for the visible items at the front of the shop, the register drawer, the snack rack, the visible electronics. The batteries are scattered across the shop in 3 or 4 different places. 1 on the grinder, 2 on the charger, 3 on the workbench. 1 in the truck bay where a mechanic was working when the place closed. To anyone in a hurry, they look like a pile of plastic bricks. The mechanic who closed the shop took his personal batteries home the day the doors locked. The second mechanic, there is always a second mechanic, left his on the wall. Number 5. Carbide drill bits. A standard pin tumbler door lock, the kind on every commercial building in America, drills out in under 60 seconds with a 1/4-inch carbide bit. You drill through the pin chamber, the pins fall out, the cylinder turns. This is a legal repair technique locksmiths use every day on lockouts. Every shop has sets of bits on the tool wall, in the rolling toolbox, in the drawer behind the cashier. A single carbide bit retails for $30 to $150. A complete cutting toolbox, drill bits, taps, hole saws, end mills, step drills. Easily over $2,000 sitting on a shelf. Carbide cuts through steel, hardened bolts, concrete, glass, ceramic, even Kevlar. The same lockpick trick works on padlocks, gate locks, and the wheel lock the city installs on an impounded vehicle. 100 bits fit in a plastic case the size of a paperback. Lightweight. Weatherproof. The most legal universal key you will ever own. Quick stop here for the pack. Halfway through the list, drop a comment. What abandoned auto shop is in your county? What kind of shop? How long has it been dark? If you have ever walked through a closed garage and seen something the rest of us did not, write it down. The map for the next survivor lives in your reply. I keep reading. Half the next video will come from those comments. Now back to the list. Number 6. Compressed air tank. Every shop has a portable 5-gallon compressed air tank, the one mechanics fill at the big compressor and carry to a parking lot to pump up someone's flat tire. Take it. Empty, it is 20 pounds. Full, it inflates 8 tires before refilling. It is the field equivalent of a tire compressor without electricity. It clears a clogged water filter by reverse flushing. It runs small air tools. Hurricane scenario again, because the same neighbors who needed the chains will need this. 12 cars on your street flat the morning after the storm. Debris through tires, slow leaks from impact, sidewalls cut by glass. Most people drive nowhere. You go car to car with the tank, fill the soft ones, drive your neighbors to high ground. 8 tires per fill, 3 refills from your home compressor before the gas runs out. That single tank just moved 24 flat tires worth of people. Honest limitation, when it is empty, you need a fill station. Use it now while the infrastructure works, or hoard it for the first month of a collapse when the compressor in your driveway still has fuel. After that, it is a dead bottle. But for that first month, it is the most useful 20 pounds you can carry out of a closed shop. Number 7. Paper repair manuals. The day you need to replace a brake caliper on a 1998 F-150, and there is no AutoZone, no internet, no YouTube tutorial, the book on the workbench is the only path forward. On the workbench, on the desk, on the shelf behind the cashier. Every shop has Chilton, Haynes, factory service manuals, sometimes all data printouts. These are the rebuild instructions for the vehicles that will still be running when the internet has been down for 3 weeks. Haynes tried to kill new print manuals in 2020 and brought them back in 2024, but coverage for anything model year 2020 and newer is thin. Older vehicles, 1990s through 2010s, exactly the ones still on the road in a collapse, are well covered. The factory service manuals are the gold layer. If you find one for the 7.3 Power Stroke, the AMC 4.0 Inline 6, the OM 617B Mercedes Diesel, the GM Small Block, you have just acquired a workshop reference worth $200 per book that does not exist online for free and that the dealer no longer prints. Take every manual you find. The wiring diagrams alone are worth the trip. They do not need anything else to function. No internet, no subscription, no login. Everything I have given you so far is paper, fluid, rubber, or raw metal. The next item is the only one in this video that comes out of the shop already finished. Number 8. The portable jump box. Every shop that ever takes in dead customer batteries also has at least one of these sitting on a shelf or hanging on the back wall. A lithium-ion battery in a plastic case, with built-in jumper cables, USB ports for charging, a 12-volt accessory outlet, and a tactical LED flashlight that runs for hours on a single charge. The Pro versions cost $100 to $200 retail. Lithium chemistry holds charge for months on a shelf without trickle maintenance. Leave one in a closed shop for a year, and it still works. Take one home and you have, in a single box, a starter for any dead vehicle without a second car nearby. A USB power bank for your phone, or your radio, or your handheld GPS. A 100 lumen flashlight for working in the dark, and a 12-volt outlet for accessories that need it. It is the rare survival item that is already finished, not raw material, not a chemistry project, not a thing that needs other things to work. Brand names you want: Noco, Hulkman, Audu, DeWalt. The Pro versions have 18,000 peak amps for diesel starts. Looters miss it because it looks like another shop gadget. Mechanics know exactly what it is, and the smart one took theirs home the day the doors closed. The one still on the back wall of every other shop in your county, that is the one you want. Number 9. Inner tubes and tire scraps. Every shop has a pile of cut inner tubes from old tire changes, plus a stack of damaged tires that did not make the new tire wall. Inner tube rubber is the multi-tool of soft goods. Ranger bands, tourniquets, water bottle harnesses, lashings, improvised gaskets and washers, wrapping tool handles, patching boots. Quick correction on one popular myth: modern inner tubes are butyl rubber, not latex. They do not snap, they stretch. If you want a slingshot for hunting, buy proper latex bands. But for everything else, Ranger bands, gaskets, lashings, the cut tube from a closed garage is free, durable, weatherproof, and rot-proof. Tire sidewall rubber goes into sandal soles, shovel cushions, blade protectors. Rubber does not rot like cloth and does not rust like metal. You will use it on day 3 of a collapse, and you will be using it on day 300. Everything in this video so far is something you take out of the shop. The next item is something you build with what you take. Number 10. Welding electrodes. And the trick that means you do not need a real welder to use them. Every shop has a closet, a drawer, or a rolling cabinet with boxes of stick electrodes. 6011 for dirty steel, 7018 for structural, 6013 for clean light work. A single 5-pound box retails for $30 to $150. A shop closet might hold 10 boxes. $1,000 of rod on a shelf that the man walking through the building does not recognize for what it is. Here is the part that turns it from scrap into power. The improvised car battery arc welder is a documented bushcraft and off-grid mechanic technique going back 50 years. 3 12-volt car batteries wired in series give you 36 volts of DC current, enough to strike an arc with a stick electrode on mild steel. Heavy jumper cables, 2 clamps, 1 ground clamp to the workpiece, 1 stinger holding the electrode. You arc it like a pen on the metal. The rod melts into the joint, and you have welded steel without ever plugging into a wall. Listen to this part carefully. You need a real welding helmet because UV light from arc welding will burn your retinas in seconds. You need leather gloves because spatter will set cloth on fire. You need ventilation because welding mild steel releases fumes that wreck your lungs. And the bead you lay will not be as strong as a proper welded joint by a professional, but it holds. Ranchers and off-grid mechanics have used this trick for half a century. 3 batteries, 2 cables, 1 rod to turn a stack of dead-looking automotive parts into a portable steel repair shop. That is the trick. The welder is dead. The skill is alive. Number 11. The bench grinder. 4 bolts and a power cord away from being yours. Standard 110 volt, single phase, drops onto any workbench. Low speed unit, under 2000 RPM, is the one you want, because high speed burns the temper out of knife edges. With a small generator or a solar inverter and a deep cycle battery, you have a tool that sharpens knives, cleans rust, polishes metal, reshapes broken tools. The closest thing to a portable blacksmith. Pair it with the cordless angle grinder from item 4 and the welding electrodes from item 10, and you can cut steel, weld steel, and grind down the bead all in one corner of the room you set up. Every shop has at least 1 bench grinder. Most have 2, and nobody will think to walk out with one in the first wave of panic. The first survivor who does owns the only working tool shop in the county. What these 11 have in common? None of them are food. None of them are water. None of them are ammunition or guns. The looters who already broke through every grocery store in your county walked right past all 11. Because the looters are operating on a 1-week brain. The serious survivor, the one who is watching this in May and thinking about hurricane season in June, is operating on a 1-year brain. And in the 1-year brain, an abandoned auto shop is worth more than a Walmart. Here is the layer underneath that, because it matters more than the list. The looter takes finished goods, food, batteries, ammo, The items that have already been processed by the system and are sitting on retail shelves. The survivor takes the materials that go into making those things, the metal, the tools, the chemistry, the instructions, the equipment that turns raw inputs into finished output. The looter is shopping the supply chain at its last mile. The survivor is shopping the supply chain 3 steps back. 3 steps back is where there is no competition for what you take. 3 steps back is where the man with the carbide bits and the cordless grinder and the welding rods does not need the Walmart shelf because he is making what was on the Walmart shelf. One last thing before you go. The legal piece, because every comment section on a video like this fills up with lawyers. Lights off does not mean it is yours. In the United States today, taking items from a closed commercial building, even one that has been dark for 3 years, is trespass, and depending on the state, burglary or theft. Abandoned has a narrow legal meaning that the property has to meet, and a Sears Auto that closed 2 years ago does not meet it. Nothing in this video is advice to walk into a closed shop today. What this video is about is the inventory you should already know exists in your county, in your zip code. For the day the rules of normal society no longer apply. Map the locations now. The closed shops, the bankrupt chains, the independent garages where the owner retired and the building has been on the market for 2 years. Write them down. Permission first if you can get it. Many of those buildings have absentee landlords who will sell you the contents for cash. The day you need to walk into one without permission is the day you do not have time to find it. And again, drop the location in the comments. Your county, your closed shop, what you have already seen there. The map for the pack lives in your reply. Stay safe. Max out.